Welcome students to our video session. Today we are going to start models. Now before beginning this very topic models, we should know about the verbs. Now let us look over here. Now verbs. Verbs are divided mainly into two kinds. Main verb or main verbs, and the second one is auxiliary verb or auxiliary verbs, which are also known as helping verbs. And modals are basically helping verbs, but we will see that later. But before beginning modals, we should delve into the meaning of main verb as well as auxiliary verb, and what is the difference between, or what are the differences between these two kinds of verbs. Now let us look at first in the definition of main verbs. Now main verbs, these are also known as principal verbs. They have a meaning of their own, agree with the person and number of the subject of a sentence, along with showing the time, that means tense, at which the activities happen. Students, main verbs are known as principal verbs because they form the core or the basic meaning of a sentence, or give basic meaning to a sentence. Now they have a meaning of their own already, which I have told you. So they have a particular meaning of their own. Now agree with the person. Person, I, we, you, she means first person I or we, second person you, now third person she, he, Sarita, or any other name suppose. So agree with the person means it goes according to the person of the subject. Then and number. Number, whether it is plural or singular in number. Now of the subject, basically we know definitely when we are speaking of the person and the number, we must know that it's about the subject, or it is referring, or it is telling about the subject only. Subject of a sentence along with showing the time. Time over here, students, means whether that activity is in the present time or past, or it will happen in the future time. Okay, so whether any activity is taking place in the present time, whether it had happened already in the past time, or whether it is going to take place in the future or future time. Now tense means time, I have already told you, at which the activities happen. Examples of main verbs. Now first example, Rohan has a new car. Now has over here, students, main verb. Has is acting as main verb, means he has a new thing, a new car. Now number two, he is a very good boy. Now is over here is acting as main verb. Okay. Next, number three, Ankit does his work himself. Here does is acting as main verb. Auxiliary verbs. Now these are also known as helping verbs. They help other verbs in various kinds of sentences to form proper tenses. Now students, auxiliary verbs I have already told you, they are also known as what kind of verbs? Helping verbs. Now helping, basically their work is to help the main verb in a sentence or sentences. Now they help other verbs. Other verbs over here, definitely students, main verb in various kinds of sentences, means various kinds or types of sentences to form proper tenses. Tenses, students, time or present, past or future time. When an activity is taking place in the present time, or it reveals when an activity had been performed in the past time, or it is going to be performed in the future time. Examples of auxiliary verbs. Now first one, Rohan has bought a new car. Rohan has over here, unlike the previous sentence that was given in the examples of or as an example of main verb, unlike that sentence, over here has is used as an auxiliary verb. Now bought over here is the third form of the word buy. Buy, bought, bought. First form buy, second form bought, again third form is bought. Past participle form is used over here, means bought. So Rohan has bought. Bought is acting as the main verb over here. Okay, has auxiliary verb which is supporting this word bought over here in this particular sentence. Now number 2, he is going to school. He is over here is acting as an auxiliary verb, and going is over here main verb. Now students, is supporting the word going over here. The word going over here, which is the main verb. He is doing what? He is going to school. Next one, number 3. Ankit will have a glass of juice. So students, will, this sentence or has this word will. Will is acting as auxiliary verb, and have is acting over here main verb. So this very word will is actually supporting the main verb have over here. Otherwise the meaning would have been incomplete. So here it is playing a very important role over here in this sentence. Ankit will have a glass of juice. What he will have? A glass of juice. Okay. So here students, in this consecutive sentences, we can see that no sentences having a single verb. Rather, each and every sentence over here is having two verbs. One is acting as the main verb and another is helping it. So it is acting as an auxiliary or helping verb. Students, next see the differences between main verb and auxiliary verb. Number 1, below main verb. It is known as the principal verb. Now students, you must be aware of your principal ma'am. She is the main head, or she is considered as the main head of your school. So here this verb is also used as the main word which bears its own meaning. Okay, so it is known as the principal verb. Next one, number 1, below auxiliary verb. It is known as the helping verb. So students, from the very word helping itself, you know that this is of a matter of helping. So this verb basically helps another verb in a sentence to complete a sentence's meaning, or to give proper meaning to a sentence or in a sentence. Next one, number 2, below main verb. It acts independently. Below auxiliary verb. Number 2, it cannot act independently. Now students, with this point, or this points better to say, we will find something is related and something is the meaning of the very words that this two kinds of verbs bear. Now let's see the third point to understand what it actually bears. Main verb. Number 3, it bears its own complete meaning. So students, generally a main verb is having its own meaning, a separate meaning, unique meaning. Okay, and it can therefore act independently. So it can stand independently without the help of auxiliary verb too, but in some cases. Now, next one. Under auxiliary verb, number 3, it supports main verb, without which it is incomplete. So students, main verb in a sentence is needed so that auxiliary verb can help that one to bear a particular meaning. Otherwise, it has no meaning, or better to say, it has no sense of existence as such. So, it is very essential that it comes with the main verb, and its work is to support main verb. So basically, it has its meaningful existence when it helps another word, or better to say, another verb to bear a complete meaning or proper meaning in a sentence. Auxiliary verbs are divided into two kinds: primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Now students, we are not dealing with the primary auxiliary verbs. We are dealing with the modal auxiliaries or modal auxiliary verbs. Let's see at the definition of modal auxiliary verbs. These verbs provide additional and specific meanings to the main verbs in different kinds of sentences. Students, these verbs provide additional. I've already told you that they work in support and specific meanings to the main verbs. Otherwise, I've already told you that their meanings would have been incomplete, or the sense of the sentence or sense of completion that a sentence attains would have been incomplete. So these verbs basically help and provide particular meanings to the main verbs, or in addition of the main verbs to a sentence. Next, look at the features of modal auxiliary verbs. Number 1, they are never used alone. Since they are helping verbs, so definitely they would be never used alone as such. Now number 2, they do not change their forms according to the number and person of the respective subjects. So let us see how they are remaining same. Specifically here, I'm going to explain with a single modal auxiliary verb. Let us see. Person. First means first person, singular form. I can do it, where do is the main verb and can is the auxiliary verb. But see, do. Okay, over here do is the main verb. With this, it is not changing its form. I can do it. With the plural form, first person plural form, we. Here, can is remaining same. Okay. Next one, second person. You can do it. In singular, you can of course tell that you to a single person. You can refer you, the word very you, to a single person. And in that case, can here is similarly taking place, or it is not changing its form as such. Next one, you can do it in case of the plural form. So students, you will remain same in case of singular as well as plural. Means if you find more than one person present before you and you are addressing them, then definitely you will only use the word quote unquote you. Okay, you only. So you can do it. Next one, third person. He can do it in case of the singular number. So here also we can see that can is not changing its form. Okay. Next one. In case of the plural number, they can do it. Suppose a group of people. Okay. Group of people is there and you are referring to them. Them suppose. They. Third person will be they, or they, this very word they will be in the third person. Okay, plural form. And can over here is also not changing its form. It is same. Number 3, they do not have infinitive, present participle or past participle forms. Infinitive. Suppose to infinitive. You cannot have any word to can with the words to can. No, it is not possible. Okay, can is used alone with not any word before as such. Okay, then present participle. You can always see a modal auxiliary verb without having ing, okay, or without the addition of ing. Next one, or past participle forms. Now students, every one of you are very much aware of the past participle forms. Somewhere ed is added, somewhere only t is replaced or added, better to say, or somewhere it changes to any other form, or in case of weak verb, suppose put will be only there in case of past participle form. But whatever it is, okay, the past participle will not have any effect on the word considered as modal auxiliary. Next one, number 4. Always negative words are not formed immediately by putting not after the modals. So always not, or the very word not, is not being put after that modal or after some modals as such. For example, ought not to, where not is in between the words ought and to. So it is not after, means the word not is not being used after the modal ought to, rather it is in between. Okay, it is coming in between the words ought and to. Number 5. Questions are formed by placing the modals before the subject. For example, would you please lend me your book? Where subject is you and modal auxiliary is would. Subject is you and modal auxiliary verb is would. Now number B. Can we go there? Can we go there? Where we is the subject and can is the modal auxiliary verb which is placed before the subject as usual. Can we go there? Number 6. Modals are also used in question tags as number A. She can't be right. Can she? Here can is used over here. Okay? Question tag. Now number B. You won't do that. Will you? So you won't do that. Will you? So for here, as question tags, this can be also used. Number 7. Only 4 modals, can, may, shall, will, have past forms. could, might, should, and would. Now, number 8. Sometimes to is used after some modals like need, dare, and ought. Unlike to infinitive, students, here to is used after. It is not an infinitive, or these are not infinitives, these are modals. And here to, or this very word to, can be used after. And one thing to remember regarding this, students, point number 7, which is that this 4 forms could, might, should, would sometimes reveal past or activities that had taken place, or those had taken place in the past time. But this very modals also sometimes refer to any other kind of activity that is taking place in the present time only. Suppose to mention someone's ability, or to regulate, or to express someone's duty, or a situation that would have happened. Modals. First modal is can. Purpose or usage. Number 1, ability or capacity. Examples. Number A, I can speak German very well. So it's my ability, it's my capacity to speak a language very well. And what can I speak? I can speak German very well. Now, number B, she can drive a car. So, what's her capacity? That she can drive a car. Number 2, of purpose. Seek or give permission. Example number A, can I use your umbrella? It's about seeking permission or taking permission from anybody. Number B, you can use my umbrella. It's about giving permission. Next one, purpose is possibility. Example number A, anyone can make such mistakes. So it is possible that anyone can make mistakes of a type, or mistakes in general. Specifically here such is given, so specific kind or type of mistakes. Number B, an accident can occur anytime. So it's a possibility that an accident can happen, can take place, can occur anytime. Number 4, doubt. Example number A. Who can do such a difficult task? So, who can do such a difficult task? So, it's a doubt. Someone is expressing his or her confusion, doubt about a difficult task and who can perform that. Specifically, who can perform a particular difficult task. Number B. Can you perform with your broken legs? So, someone has broken legs and anyone else is expressing his or her doubt that whether that person can perform with his or her broken legs or not. So, can you perform with your broken legs? Next, number 5, suggestion or offer. A. I can spend 10,000 rupees on that project. So it's a kind of suggestion or offer that someone is making. Next one, number B. I can have one more look on that file. So it's a kind of offer that I can have one more look on that file. Next one, general statements. He can be tough whenever he wants to. So he can be tough whenever he wants to. Without his desire, it is not possible. So whenever he desires so, he can be tough. Number B. She can be strict if situation demands. So she can be strict if situation wants or there is any necessity of the situation, or if someone's necessity makes her to do so, or let her to be in that state. Next, number 2, could. Roman number 1, for purpose. Past ability or capacity. A. He could have controlled the ship at the right time. So, first example is he could have controlled the ship at the right time. Means he was capable of doing something and he could have controlled that. Perhaps over here there is a captain of a ship who basically controls the ship at the necessity of the situation, or whenever there is storm, or whenever there is any kind of violent atmospherical situation. So he takes over control at that time. And here, anyone is telling, suppose, that that very person, he could have controlled the ship at the right time. So, if he would have done so, then lives of many people would have been saved. Okay, next one. Number B. He could do that work with least effort also. So he could have done something. He could have done a work with least effort. Perhaps he was that much of capable. That's why. Next, number 2. Seek permission or make a polite request. Example number A. Could she lend me 100 rupees? So it is almost like making a request or seeking permission or making a polite request. Number B. Could I use your mobile? So it's basically a polite request. Next, number 3. To express annoyance. Example number A. She could have let the matter go easily. So it's suppose someone's annoyance. Basically, that person is telling that she could have let. She could have let any matter to go not so seriously, or she would have not taken that matter too seriously, as it was not the demand of situation. Rather, she could have let the matter go easily. Basically, lightly over here. Next, number B. She could have taken my name in place of that foolish girl. So, any selection or purpose of anyone's selection is there, and someone is rejected for some purpose or any kind of purpose as such. So here, that person is expressing her disgust and telling that she could have taken my name in place of that foolish girl. Next, number 4, ability. A. Example number A. I could have resolved the matter in time. So it was my ability to resolve a matter in proper time, and so I could have resolved the matter in time. Next one, number B. He could have availed that opportunity. So someone is basically very talented and someone else is speaking over here, expressing that he could have taken that opportunity, or he could have accessed, he could have snatched that very opportunity. So he could have availed that opportunity. Number 5, possibility. She could have gone there if she had enough amount of time in her hand. So it was possible, or it was a possibility, that she could have gone there if she had enough amount of time in her hand. Next, number B. Sarita could buy a new car if she would have been given enough support by her husband. So Sarita could have bought a new car if she would have been given enough support by her husband. So it's a possibility that she could have done so. Next, number 3, may. Purpose number 1, seek or grant permission. Example number A. May I go home now? So it's about, or it's basically seeking permission. May I go home now? Next one. Number B, you may go home now. So it's granting permission. Next one. Purpose number 2, possibility. Example number A. Today the road may be blocked due to a local strike. So it is possible that today the road may be blocked due to what? Due to a local strike. Number B. It may rain due to the overcast of dark clouds. So there is a possibility that it may rain today for what? Due to dark clouds which have filled the sky. Next one, number 3, to express a purpose. A. She may go for shopping with her friends. So here, someone is expressing a purpose and saying that she may go for shopping. For what? For the purpose of shopping with her friends. Next, number 4, to express a personal wish. May you live long. So here, someone is wishing, someone is giving a personal wish, or someone is praying for a person, or someone is expressing his or her personal wish. May you live long. Next one, number 5, to express a curse. Example, may it will bring dark ages in her life. So here expressing a curse, and what is the curse? That may it will bring what? Dark ages in her life. So someone is very angry with someone else, and he or she is wishing to happen something bad with the other person. So here, that very curse is expressed. Next one, number 4, might. Purpose number 1, seeking or granting permission. Example number A, you might come in. So it's granting permission basically. Might I go out for a minute? So it's seeking permission, definitely. Next one, number 2, possibility. It might drizzle in the evening. So there is a possibility that it might drizzle, light rainfall. Drizzle means a kind of light rainfall. So drizzle in the evening. Next, number 3, to make a suggestion. She might obey them. So it's a suggestion that is being rendered. Next one, to express a purpose. She worked hard so that she might pass. So it's a purpose that is expressed. Next one, number 5, Must. Purpose number 1, to express duty, compulsion, obligation, and necessity. Example number A, we must obey the laws of the country. So it's our duty to obey the laws of our own country. So we must obey the laws of the country in which we are staying. Next one, number B. Candidates must answer 5 out of 10 questions. So it's basically a compulsion that candidates must do. Next one, number C. You must devote some time to social service. So it's your obligation, suppose, that you must devote some time to what? To social service. Actually, students, we all must do so. Next, and necessity. Number D. We must run first to catch the train. So it's a necessity that we must run, otherwise, we will miss the train. So it's our necessity. Next purpose, to express a guess, an inference from circumstances, then a feeling of certainty, and at last, the purpose is strong likelihood. Example number A, over here. The office must be opened as the light is still on. So it's basically a guess. A guess that someone is making, that if the light of that office or of a certain place is still on, then it must be open. Next one. Number B. Someone is knocking at the door. It must be the postman. So it's an inference, okay, that someone is knocking at the door and it must be, someone is sure about the time period or period of time when the postman arrives over there, or when the postman is supposed to arrive there. And he is so sure that he is using must over here. Someone is knocking at the door. It must be the postman. Next, number C. Her mother must be nearly 80 years old. So it's a guess or certainty somehow that uh, he or she over here is almost near to that age. So here basically she, her mother. Okay. Next, number D. They must have been enjoying themselves. So here also a kind of certainty has been revealed that they must have been enjoying themselves. Okay. Next, number 3, purpose. A purpose number 3. To express determination, inevitability, a threat, or an emphatic advice. Example number A. We must have our money back. So it's a kind of determination. Suppose someone has cheated us and we want our money back. So we must have our money back. Okay. Next one. We must cross difficult stages of our life. So it's inevitability that expresses some difficult stages of our life which are basically unavoidable, which are not overlapping or which we cannot overlap or we cannot escape from. So we must cross. We must cross what? Difficult stages of our life. Next, number C. She must be thrown into jail due to her inappropriate behavior. So this is basically a threat. Okay? That she must be thrown into jail. This is basically what? A threat. Next one. Number D. You must tell the truth. So it's an emphatic advice. Definitely. If someone is telling someone to tell the truth, or if anyone is supposed to say you, or you are being said by someone that you must tell the truth, then definitely it's an advice, a very good advice. And over here, literally, emphatic advice. Next one. 6. Modal is shall. Purpose number 1. can be a threat, a command, a promise, or assurance. It can be a compulsion, a legal obligation, prohibition, determination, declaration, intention, or willingness. Example number A. If you do not obey, you shall be dismissed. So it's basically a threat or a legal obligation, suppose. Okay, that if you do not obey, you shall be dismissed. Dismissed from the job or like that. Number B. He shall do the job. Okay. So it's a promise, assurance, or compulsion in some cases too. So he shall do the job. Next, number C. He shall be rewarded for his courageous deed. So here a kind of declaration has been made that he shall be given something. Here he shall be rewarded for his courageous deed. Next one. Number D. He shall pay his school fees by 10th of every month. So it's a kind of legal obligation or compulsion expressed, or it can be a promise to or assurance. Next, number 2. Simple futurity, permission, or desire can be expressed with the help of the modal shall. Let's see. Example number A. A. Shall we have to do that in future? So, in future, or basically as a permission to. So, shall we have to do? So, shall we have to do that in future? Comma. So, seeking permission or expressing a task or something that is to be done in future. Next, number B. Shall I come for the party? So it's basically seeking permission only. Okay. Shall I come for the party? Number 3, command or desire. I shall make a remarkable success in my life. So it's my desire as well as a command that I'm certain of, or I am determined to get. Next, number 7, should. Purpose number 1, giving or asking for advice. She should obey her teacher. Next one, number 2, purposes, supposition, possibility, and condition. Example number A, it should rain as the existing weather indicates. So it's a supposition that someone is making that it should rain. It should rain as the existing weather. Existing weather may be cloudy weather. Okay. And it indicates what? Forthcoming rainy weather. So it should rain as the existing weather indicates. Next, number B. It should be a new book. So it is a possibility that someone is expressing. What kind of possibility? That what is kept before a person, a book over here, should be new. Next one, number C. If they play well, they should win. So it's a condition that if they play well, then they should win. Number 3, a polite request, command, or acceptance. Example number A. Should I take this notebook? So it's a polite request that should I do so? So should I take this notebook? Next, number B. Candidates should write neatly. So it's a kind of command that candidates should do what? Should write neatly. Next, number 4. To express a purpose, determination, or willingness, threats, orders, guess, offer, etc. Example number A. You should walk slowly lest you will fall. So it's a purpose or it's an advice. Next one. Number B. He should know the consequences of doing that work. Number 8. Will. Purpose number 1. To express a wish, determination, promise, threat, willingness, or any kind of intention. Example number A. I will go home now. So it's a wish that has been expressed. Number B. I will mend my ways. So it's a determination that I will do what? I will mend my ways. Now, number C. Well, I will do this much for you. So, it's a kind of promise. Yes, it's a promise basically that someone is making for someone else. That, well, I will do this much for you. Next, number 9. Would. Purpose number 1. To express a wish or preference. Example, I would like to go there. So, it's a preference or wish that someone is expressing. Number 2. To express determination, past habit, or attitude, polite request, doubt, probability, and threat. Example number A. I would win this match by hook or crook. So it's our determination. Next, number B. She would prefer to have a short nap. She would prefer to do what? To have a short nap. So, It's a kind of past habit that is expressed over here. Next, number C. Would you please lend me your bike for a day? So, would you please lend me your bike for a day? So, it's a polite request. Next, number D. Perhaps he would move towards the southeast. So, it is a kind of probability that anyone is expressing. Next, number E. You would have to pay for your misdeeds. So it's a kind of threat that anyone is giving to anyone else directly. Next one. Number 10. Ought to. To express duty, obligation, and social bondage. Example number A. We ought to serve our country. So it's a duty. Next one, number B. We ought to work hard. So it's an obligation. Next, number C. We ought to serve our parents, our old parents over here. So it's a duty basically. Next, number 2. To express advice, necessity, strong probability, or guess. Example number A. You ought to join your brother's company tomorrow. You ought to join your brother's company tomorrow. So there is an advice. Next one, number B. Ankit ought to be in the park by 10 a.m. So here a strong probability or guess has been revealed. Number 11. Have to, has to, or had to. Purpose number 1. To express obligation. Number A. They have to work hard for their survival. They have to do what? Work hard for their survival. So it's an obligation. Now, number B, she has to perform her duty. So it's also an obligation in her part that she has to do her duty. She has to perform her task. She has to perform her duty. Next, number 2, to express necessity. He had to pay the fees of his school by 25th of November 2019. So, students, it's actually the past form of the modal have to. He had to pay. So, here had to is the past form of the modal have to. He had to pay the fees of his school by 25th of November 2019. Next, we have to give our project by 10th of March 2021. We have to give our project by 10th of March 2021. Next modal, number 12, dare. To express courage. They dare to tell the truth. So it's about expressing courage. Number 2, to express boldness. How dare you speak to me like that? So it's about expressing boldness. How dare you speak to me like that? Next model, number 13, need. Purpose is to express necessity, obligation, and compulsion. Example number A. You need to wait for him. You need to wait for him. So it's a kind of necessity or a kind of compulsion. Next, number B. Need I go to the hospital? So it's basically an obligation or expressing obligation. Need I go to the hospital? Next, number 14, used to. Past activity or habit is expressed over here. So, past habit or activity is the purpose. Example number A. When I was young, I used to work very hard. So, it indicates past activity. Next one, number B. There used to be a hotel in the heart of the city. So, in the middle of the city or in the most popular place of the city, there used to be a hotel. Number A. When I was a child, I used to play with him. So, it's a past habit or activity, specifically an activity that when I was a child, I used to play with him. Next, number B. There used to be a haunted house in the town. So, there used to be means in the past days, there used to be what? A haunted house in the town. In the town, specifically where suppose you are residing or a particular town, so the town. Okay, so there used to be a haunted house in the town. Thank you, students.